All right, and here we are again for episode 27 of Call of the Netherdeep. I am the Dungeon Master Jasili. We are continuing the main campaign again, yet another jump in the story, and I'll throw it to the players to introduce themselves.
Hello, hello. My name is Hunter, and I am back to playing Morgen Megen, your favorite Netherdeep witch.
I'm Aaron. Tonight I'm playing Mox, the Tabaxi Gunslinger.
Hey, my name is Matt. I'm the person speaking now, and tonight I'll be playing Saeryn Conundrum, the Satyr Divination Wizard.
And I'm Ray. I'm playing Ludo, the ASMR Paladin.
Oh, yeah. Nailed it. First time, first take. Definitely not a redo.
What are you talking about?
See, wink. Anyway, to recap where this party of the Netherdeep had last left off, they had taken a job out of Concourse and a little bit of downtime in hunt of rumors of dust devils and dragons. Mox following a lead on a potential scaling pay grade. They head out with 3 people from the Concourse gates: Titus, a Eladrin high elf. There is Gearfried Horst, a Dwendalian champion, and then Kier, a mysterious drow that Ludo was very paranoid and suspicious of, and after taking a good look at them, had discovered they had been trying to hide the Widow's Peak, that they had been, this is the telltale sign of belonging to the cult of Loth, at least at some point. They head out into the desert and encounter the dust devils. As the battle ensues and gunfire rings out, a stampede of feral hogs numbering 30 to 50 comes running down to the Gulch, Lion King style, as the party tries to battle their way through and survive the best they can, being chastised by the team that they are caravanning with. As they make their way further into the desert, they eventually come upon a Thrycreen encampment, where they see that these creatures had captured and subdued a blue dragon wormling, and the deal was to trade for that and bring that back for the caravan to Ankarel as a gift to Jamansat Ord for the upcoming grand tournament. The party did not like this at all, and were very tense and a little conspiratorial, let's be honest, as they were trying to find a way to not provoke the anger of the mother that was sure to come their way if they went along with capturing this wormling. Eventually, battle did break out, with Mox pulling his gun on the Dwendalian, and Saeryn completely incapacitating Titus the elf with a counterspell and a psychic lance. Ludo's moonbeam had pierced the darkness of Kier's dark spell, and a whole bloody battle raged, leaving everyone very nearly on the edge, with Saeryn immolating Gearfried with a final firebolt that turned the tide and intimidated the Thrycreen into deciding to give up. They scurried off into the desert while the team regrouped and freed this wormling, who, after talking with Mox, revealed his name was Tanzuk, and he was worried about his mother, who's been having strange red dreams involving the red moon, and he has to go and keep her under control lest she wake up, lose control, and bring ruin to everything. We will now come back to that moment here in the desert. And you all just had a very, very difficult day. There's still a lot more to do. You are all bloodied, bruised, and battered. The sands swirl around you. The wind picks up as a large gust comes in from behind you, gathering towards the storm that you see building on the horizon, following that gulch that was pointed out to you that the lair of the blue dragon is said to be. I will throw it back to you all now.
What? Just so we know, what time of day is it, and how far did you say it was? Like roughly.
Yeah, you're
We knew.
not entirely sure of the distance. You do see probably in a couple miles on, that mirage distance that the desert seems to have. It says that a few miles, 10 miles, 20 with the haze of the heat. Tanzuk might be able to give more information as well. And it's probably past midday, probably getting later on in the afternoon. The sun will still be up for a number of hours well into the night, and it's probably like what would be 4 or 5-ish, I feel like.
Okay. All right. Just trying to
Yeah,
clarify
perfect.
timelines.
Yeah, because you all left out pretty early in the morning
Mm-hmm.
to get as much of a head start before the thing, but then you had to take that break after to push on. All right. Does anyone have anything or any more clarifications?
I don't think so. I don't, at least. Anybody else?
I don't think so.
And
So these, well, I guess I do. These Thrycreen, they just disengaged completely. Are they like?
Yeah, they're all gone basically. They're like, you see that in these moments as you all are catching your breath and as you like freed the blue dragon, they like gathered up like a few like random assortments from like the few tents and stuff that they had over there and kind of started heading out.
But this is still a campsite.
There is still most things of a campsite there. There's also the few dead bodies, although the drow had disappeared down into the gulch below.
Wait, do we loot the bodies yet?
We did not get to body loots yet.
Okay. All right. Do you can you toss us back to that scene? Because I'm on a very peaceful village.
I'm on the scene.
You are, but I'm on a very peaceful village, green village.
Oh,
Secret map.
yeah, you had a thing from the last game.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot
Thank
you weren't with the rest of the group. Because this thing
Peaceful
does that
green
now.
village. Spoiler alert.
I tell you the truth,
I'm just kidding.
can't remember what that was about. Until he recaps, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And that was a different recap. I'll have to do
Nope,
that one.
wasn't part of this one. And we took the net and we pulled Tanzuk out of the binding.
Yeah.
his binding.
He no longer has the thing on him.
Okay.
Fix that.
And he's calm. He's
he's
they're
calm. Yeah.
at this point.
Tanzuk, he's just like, yeah, thank you for freeing me. Like I said, I was concerned. As long as you take me back to my mommy.
How far is that the voice on him? Yeah, that's it. How far is your mom from here? Like how many hours? Do you know? Or how many? Which direction that way?
And he
He's pointing
points
toward
up.
the mountains.
Yeah, points up. What this would be basically following now, like hooking towards the northeast, and there'd be like the mountains. And he says, "If I was flying, it'd probably be before the sun falls in the sky. I'm not sure how fast can you all travel."
Definitely, I don't think as fast as a dragon can fly. And I like sort of look at them and like back in common, be like, he says if we could fly, he would make it all the way there before, and he points to the mountains before the sun goes down. I don't think we can make it there that way if we walk.
Is the young dragon injured? Is there a reason that we shouldn't just let him go and let him fly back to his mother?
It's a good question. Can you fly? If you just went on your own, would you be safe?
Hey, probably. Although I thought I was safe when they captured me. They caught me. I didn't hear or see them. He
This makes
gestures
sense,
towards the
there's-
Thrycreen.
Yeah. Sort of relays like he's afraid that he thought he was safe before, but there's obviously people out here. Like, we're out here looking for the reasons for the Dust Devils. I'm sure that there's other people looking for the reasons for those also. So there might be other hunters out there.
Then it's settled. We will escort this youngling. But first, is there any useful gear or supplies left by the Thrycreen here?
Yeah. So, what you want to specifically look through the Thrycreen camp for anything?
I think so. Whatever they left.
Oh yeah. So you can make that a probably be an investigation check. 14. Hell yeah. Yeah, I imagine. Would you guys be dedicating like a good amount of time to searching around and stuff? Or are y'all gonna be like trying to do like a quick like, all right, what do we got and go?
I'll probably be sitting with the Tanzook at this point, making sure he doesn't like get all funny.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I'll be doing a lot of searching.
Yeah, I don't think Ludo would want to spend a ton of time. Just anything useful that appears. I guess in particular anything that would be like healing or holy or sharp.
I think Saeryn would be looking around, trying to figure out if there's any info, like if the Thrycreen left anything, or if the hunters that we came with had anything on them that related to where they abducted the child dragon from.
Mm-hmm.
Idea.
Yeah. So would you be like looking at like the corpses then?
The corpses, and then if anything left over from the camp.
Awesome.
See if they had any maps or anything like that of the area.
Yeah, I'll let you also give me a investigation check. And then does Morgen have anything specific? 14?
Yeah, I think at some point while everyone is kind of doing their things, she's going to try and just kind of touch base with everyone and hand them each 4 of her potions of healing.
A lot of potions of healing.
Oh yeah.
You said 4 each?
Yes, everyone receives
Holy
4.
Crap. Just standard
Whoa.
potions.
She
of healing.
spent
Like,
an entire week doing nothing but overtime potion brewing. She did nothing
That's awesome.
else during that entire downtime track.
holy crap.
Is there a difference between the legacy and regular?
A good question.
It should be potion of healing. Should just be 2d4 plus 2.
Yeah, I'll have to. This is
As
actually
long
the
as it
first
says that.
game
Looking right
since the rule switch. It's going to be some interesting kinks to figure out.
Yeah.
Because they might have
Oh,
just
that's
changed
true.
the terminology of stuff on the
Oh,
updated
no.
ones.
No, the new one looks like you can administer it to someone else as a bonus action rather than an action.
Really? Drinking or administration takes an action. I'm surprised that you can't drink it for a bonus action. 'cause
Yeah,
that
I would
seems
do
to
it
be
the
You
other-
like-
can.
You
It
can
says
drink
you
it as
can
a bonus
drink it
action?
or administer it to another creature within 5 feet of yourself as a bonus
I
action.
don't like that.
Oh, within 5.
I like
mean, yeah,
drink.
that
I like.
makes-
I like drinking it for a bonus action and then healing someone else for an action. That seems more fair.
That's
but,
been
okay.
a homebrew rule I've liked.
That's that's like one that Matt Mercer uses and a lot of different people use.
Yeah, I'll say that's we'll use those rules for that. So we'll just do legacy potions, and then
Alright.
our homebrew rule will be action to give someone else bonus action to drink.
Cool, love it.
Because like I said, it's
Cool.
that's alright.
Thank you, Morgan.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. And with that, the party, you all disperse some of the stuff. I'll say, Ludo, you begin looking through the Thrycreen encampment. You do definitely see, like, there's all sorts of, like, survival and, like, trapper gear. Like, there's, like, all sorts of, like, nets and mechanisms for, like, cages. And you see another one of, like, they're, like, rubber elastic bands, like they used for to capture the blue dragon wormling. and you find a set of that. So
Yeah, so basically like another trap with a net.
yeah, you feel like and there's like there are like some slight like rune etchings like along them, like you feel like it's like some weird like psionic magic that powers it instead of like normal enchanting. But effectively, works like, hey, you're able to use this capture something and keep it pretty well secured. So for now, just add in Thrycreen shackles
Okay.
as a custom item.
Cool. Thrycreen shackles.
Hell yeah.
Oops.
And then you do see like there are like a few like maps of the area, like they tried like drawing up the gulch, and like you see it leads up into a point where like it leads into the mountains, and you basically see what would be their equivalent scribble of "Here be dragons."
Would we move faster? I'm looking now. Would it be faster if we took this dragon, this wormling, with these horses, or would it be quicker on foot? Like, I don't know if I'll be able to. I don't know if I would be able to like judge that.
Make a you can make a nature check
What kind
or a
of horses
survival.
We'll do survival.
I'll let you use a range of abilities there.
Nope, a 9. I rolled a 4 plus 5.
The horses have definitely been working all day and in the heat, so I mean they're glad to be kind of hanging out right now. But you feel like even with that, survival, that the dragon, if it has its flight, would probably be about twice as fast as y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So
And these are like, they look more, even with a 9, they look more like workhorses and less like speed. Like they're looking like
they're draw like endurance long term hauling.
Gotcha.
So you guys probably you feel like the horse would be at like a 40-foot movement.
Gotcha. So not quite worth the hassle.
All right, yeah, I had better. You know what? I'm gonna let this song rock for a second. This is interesting.
Cool. I like it.
All right. And Saeryn, you begin looking through the body and the corpses, looking for just like anything they had on them and like information about like the desert and other stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say first thing you find. Well, I guess you're gonna look through Gearfried first. You dig through his pockets and you find like a little loot sack, and that contains 57 GP and 4 silver. And you see there's not much else. Like he's like wearing full plate armor. What you realize is like one that's very, very valuable armor. Like it's it's the 18 AC 5000 GP one.
Jeepers. Okay, we're shoving that in the bag of scolding.
Oh, what you got there?
Shh.
Just
Oop it up, and there you go. Yeah. Mash it thing. I'm not strong enough to really push this in there, actually.
Yeah, you all see.
It's not going well.
Yeah, you see Saeryn take a few minutes to doff that person's armor, and then he starts like struggling, and then yelling at the bag as he's trying to like shove a full plate mail armor into the bag.
Yes, I know it's too big. Just be quiet.
Wow.
Stop flapping your bag lips and just open wide.
You thought it the wrong way. You thought it the wrong way.
If I can understand what you're saying, you're not choking it down like I'm telling you to. There you go.
The worst is we can hear one side of this conversation.
Yes, you only hear
we cannot hear the bag. We just hear holding this bag for not opening up wide enough.
Stop flapping your lips.
Your bag lips.
The repertoire.
That's so good.
That was great.
And then I distribute the gold and silver pieces among the 4 of us.
That's awful nice.
Amazing.
And actually, let me accumulate everything from what I'm searching for, and then we'll see what we
Perfect.
divvy up.
I will say we move on to the enchanter next.
Oh yeah.
Well, You, my friend, you find a spell book first and foremost. The body, you see, it's been like almost withered away. Like parts of it are like turning to ash down to like bits of like bone of it exposed through. Is like, oh, this flesh has like instantly decayed and like looks like it's belonged in the desert for the last 100 years already. But the magical spell book, perfectly fine and untouched by the wither or the blight. And it has you, my friend, because I used Legacy Enchanter spellbook for this one. You find cantrips are Friends, Mage Hand, Mending, Message. Has first level Charm Person, Mage Armor, Magic Missile. Second level is Hold Person, Invisibility, Suggestion. Third level is Fireball, Haste, and Tongues.
Ow.
All right. I'm gonna. Maybe I don't distribute the gold and silver to everybody. Ooh.
We don't know
I
what you
need
found.
that.
That's a lot of spells to copy. But it is also a full spell book.
Yeah.
So yeah, wizard rules is you could I think it's like long rest, you could change out your like the spell book you're using.
I'll double check that. But I'm probably gonna copy them into my spellbook anyway.
Yeah, and you could also use this as copies and all of that. As you were
Because this doesn't have any. I have way more spells that I can prepare and that I have in the spellbook than this. So.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of,
Yeah, you see
spell
that.
scrolls you got there.
Hmm.
A lot of spell scrolls you got there just tearing out of that book.
There are a lot of good one-time use spell scrolls. If he ever wishes. I do
Single
like that
use.
roll actually. Like that's really fun.
Like, we'll use this. Use this spell.
Inside the spell book, as you're flipping through, when you get to the back of the spells, and like you see a bunch of like arcane runes and glyphs, and like like the formula scribblings and private notes that like a wizard would have. And you also see there is a letter with a broken seal that shows the seal is like a dried purple wax, and it shows a hammer inside of a cogwheel, handwriting in a familiar flowing script. I am sending a cousin named here. They will show a sigil proving they are with the den when they arrive. She is tasked to look for a rare lotus said to bloom somewhere in the Rumenon Desert. So if you have no qualms mixing business with pleasure, then I have arranged some work you can do with the bloody scar bearers to send you that way. Keep a low profile, and I'll make contact when I land in Concourse. Ta-ta, lovely.
Huh.
And then at the bottom is signed TH.
EH.
Wait, I know we knew someone named Kier. Hold on a second. My memory's all messed up. Who was Kier? We definitely know that.
That
Or
was
do
the
we?
drow.
The drow that got away.
Yeah. Oh,
Got it.
And I messed up. The sigil is a hammer inside a cogwheel, but there's also a dodecahedron shape in there as well.
EH.
Well, uh-oh. Now, see, I knew we really probably should have taken out that drow.
I tried.
Yeah. Not to be done about it. And honestly, it means we might as well take this dragon up to where it belongs just because we need to stay at Concourse for a bit.
Everyone make a history check. Because I know it's been a while also
Was
as
it?
players.
I'm gonna ask if has it been in the last like 10 days? Like should I even
Mox,
make?
no.
Should I even make that?
Mox, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually,
Cool.
yes.
Okay. History, you said?
Yep.
I'm terrible. +2.
But there is a reason. So I think it's Ludo is mostly just focused on here, the Dark Elf, the regret of them getting away. I will say just because it has been a few months as people in players game.
What? Oh, I have it in my notes actually. I know who it is.
Ooh, I like guesses.
Is it Tanarin Hythanos?
Ludo has advantage. You have inspiration. You have inspiration on your next whenever you want to for the session.
Browsing through my notes. Yes.
So in the handouts, it's hiding in the Bazazan thing, but the Den Hythanos sigil.
That's right.
The broken.
That's right. Those bastards.
Yeah, I think you hear the word Dan and you see that sigil.
I guess, yeah, Mox would have.
You would know you might have done work for the Hythanos Den.
I've been Hythanos. I would have been in. Yeah. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, they would have been very well established in Bazazan during the time you were there before.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you heard some crazy things happening with them the last day before you got hired on this team. There was like you heard there was a break-in and like a fire, but no, there was a demon and there was all sorts of rumors abound. And
I think it would be like that. It'd be like the TH. That sounds like the Hythanos family. There was a bunch of stuff happened at their estate. There was like this creepy demon thing that jumped over a wall. I saw the pictures. A whole big fire.
Yeah.
And it's just a bunch of bad people. A bunch of bad people broke in. I mean, that's just the rumors.
That fucking picture.
That's one of the best pictures. It's great.
I love playing a character that has no clue what this party has absolutely done before they picked them up.
Yeah, that part did not come up in like the recounting of their adventures.
No, not at all.
Yeah, Saeryn is not going to talk about how he almost jumped a wall and got shot in the ass. No, that's not a thing he's bringing up on his own.
And in the picture doesn't really resemble him that much. So it's
also
like,
true.
Yeah.
Ludo, you also find these weapons, a Githka and a Chachka. Thrycreen weapons. So if I don't even know if those are things you can add in your inventory. They're basically like Thrycreen versions of like spear, slashing harpoon weapons, and then like a crossbow. But they're desert skins. It's like in shooter games, you can have the different skins for your weapons.
Yeah. New skin unlocked.
Exactly. We're going for fashion this season.
I gave D&D Beyond $20 so that my dice can do the default dance.
Just as a... Yeah, I just did a quick TikTok dance for the video. You'll have to watch it on YouTube to see it. All right. So you all get some pretty good looting, some good stuff. Saeryn, you also find 100 gold pieces. Purse that was separate than the one they tossed down the gulch.
The who what?
You find 100 gold pieces also.
Hot dog.
From the enchanter.
And now we sit and wait to see how much he tells us about.
Every campaign's got to have one.
Could be nothing. I don't care.
It's the best part about parties.
Yeah.
There's always a bang,
I love it.
and half the party doesn't know about it.
Yeah. He is our Chetney Pakapi.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm flush with cash.
I'm not even paying attention. I'm still just tending to this dragon, trying to figure out what we're gonna do, keeping him calm.
Yeah. Yeah, he says, if you take me, I can lead you there. I can show ways through the gully, avoid the the sands that suck you under. Creatures lie in ambush. I can avoid that area.
I think if we're definitely going, I'll look at the guys. Like, if we're going to go, we should go soon. There's, according to this little guy, a bunch of stuff, sands that suck you, something, and creatures all around. If we're going to go, we should probably go before night, or we stay here for the night.
I agree.
Yeah, we must get to
All right,
her.
let's pack up.
We must get to her before the red moon, before the eye opens, when she sleeps. That's her dreams. And then you drive her into a rage. For there, I can help talk her down.
Is the youngling okay? Does he need any care or food?
I think. Are you hungry? Let's one. Are you hungry?
I could eat.
You said you could eat, so why don't you eat? Here, there's some of the fresh right here. Has this look? I'd look for you, and he points right at the end of the, like right to this guy. He's like, how does this guy look?
I mean, Saeryn did take off all of them armor already.
We already peeled this banana for you.
And he says, it's already
Take this
cooked too. Normally I like
a little
to
bit.
get them nice and crispy with my breath, but you did a good job. And he
you're
nods over
welcome.
towards Saeryn.
Hey, so
Thumbs up.
He enjoys your cooking.
Kill this banana. that cannot be the episode title. Oh, it's so good.
If someone appreciates my cooking.
Yes, he as he's like, you hear. He seems to be very enthusiastic about it too.
Yeah.
He's very happy that we pulled.
Am I watching a dragon eat a man?
Yes.
Is that what's happening right now?
It does go over there.
I'm going to clarify. I want to make sure we say exactly what's happening here.
He's very happy that you peeled the outer layer. It's hard to get through.
And it like rips the flesh off, like one of the limbs goes and gets pulled right off, and it is a gruesome, horrible, bloody mess.
Glad he likes it. I'm gonna go check on the horses.
Here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. He's at least 8. Now he won't slowly turn on us and eat us in the wilderness. Possibly.
That's kind of what I was thinking. What happens when a dragon gets hungry?
This flesh tastes pretty good.
He likes it cooked.
Oh
though,
no! Now he's got the hunger. Now we look good too.
He'll say draconic. There's a known. If you're still a little peckish, there's a known up there, and he points to the other body just laying there. It's like, if you want something else to eat. Before we go,
Normally I don't get
could be
seconds.
a long. Yeah, it could be a long trip. You might want to just fill up.
And in no time at all, there is a bones, gore, and just muscle and sinew ripped, and there is not much left. This is a wild, ferocious monster.
The dragon approaches the body that's near Saeryn after he left, and he's like, great.
Yeah. On this one, he
I'm gonna
does.
go check on the cliff.
Yeah, you see that one? He does let out a lightning blast and just like, and it like just completely sizzles and electrifies, and there's like a smooth it's like that desert glass, like when like lightning strikes or like like when superheated and stuff like that. It just has like a small sheen to it afterwards, like where the body was. And that is all I'll describe of that.
So excellent. He seems full. Do we want to start? Saeryn, Saeryn, what you doing over there?
No.
Arlo. There we go. Sorry, Arlo. What you okay over there?
Yeah, just not every day you see a dragon eating a person,
Yes, and isn't it great that we get to see it twice today?
I was gonna say we should either bury them or throw them down the canyon, but I guess don't have to do either of those things now.
It's very efficient. Maybe we should just keep him.
For disposing of bodies.
Two corpses with one worm.
I mean,
2 corpses with 1 worm sounds like something that Morgen would say.
I believe that's actually the title of a play that I've seen once before. Quite disturbing.
Saeryn shrugs in defeat.
Oh wait.
there you go.
Yep.
Yep, there it is. All right.
Okay, look. Maybe we should just get to move on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's full red
Yeah.
now. You see his stomach. I can only assume his stomach's like big at this
He's
point.
pretty gorged, and
Yeah.
you see he's stretching around and just like take flight and hop in, and like it's definitely a little bit of like cat-like behavior, playing, you know, with the food after the fact, and then you see they're having a good fun time being out and free.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's make haste.
Mox will ask and tell Tenzuk in Draconic, but like, okay, you lead. How about you take us the safest route possible on foot?
Okay, follow me. And he begins to take you through down, like sometimes he'll like fly down in through the gulch when it gets like wide enough as the canyon begins to expand, and you all head through into the desert following him. I will say, if anyone wants to helm any sort of checks or anything else along the way, let me know.
I think Morgan's just gonna kind of, keep an eye out and, be the main navigator, I guess.
Excellent.
I think Mox is gonna, if he can make a survival check as we go through to like make sure we know our way back, because we're going into the mountains, but we don't necessarily have a route back. So he's going to try to like keep an eye out for like places to like come back with.
Yeah, do that.
Good idea.
You can make that a nice survival.
I roll so well. Okay, 17.
Oh, nice.
Classy. Classy 17.
Oh yeah, you start heading your way. It's like as you're making your way, you see like through the sands and dunes, and like where the gulch is, it begins to split into like more of like a wide canyon with like various sorts of bits. But then you see that the Zuki, like he shows that there's like a small path that leads up to like a ridge that like goes up and around it. So you're able to like look down onto the canyon that you would have had to traverse through, but you have the passage. So just to show you what that would have looked like.
Black.
It's all black.
It's all black. That's a very much as accurate description. It's just a black canyon.
Huh.
It's a dark canyon.
He's like, and there you go. There's what you guys look at. It's just this black screen.
Oh,
Enjoy.
is
Black
there?
hole.
I wonder if there's dynamic lighting on.
Must be dynamic. Ah, I recognize this.
Nice little throwback. Another
Yeah.
CzePeku map, but you all were skirt around it and are able to easily avoid what surely would have been tons of quicksands and who knows what sort of creatures hiding in ambush. And it is a pretty easy trip down as you head through the desert. The sun is starting to slowly begin to go down as you make your way. It is still unbearably hot. The desert sun overhead is like starting to, you're starting to feel pretty cooked. But you all trudge ahead and keep making your drive through the desert. And is there any discussions or plannings or anything along the way? And I'll say, Mox, you definitely do know, like you're able to keep a good track and you're spotting like,
Okay.
ways to circumvent and like follow easily, know your way back.
Just so we don't get caught, because that would have been terrible to get caught in something like this. Like in like gullies, you don't have to go as far, sort of
Yeah, you
circle
see
around.
there would have been very narrow, like you probably would have had to abandon the horse and cart at some point if, going through that route. But
I think I'll be up with with Tanzuk, just sort of keeping, conversation with him because I'm the only one that can talk Draconic. So maybe like having conversation, like just chit chat. Like if the dragon would just be like some small talk about like what we're going through. He wouldn't be really talking to the party right now, trying to keep him like focused of what we're doing.
Perfect, yeah. Yeah, and he says, so why did you come out here?
Oh, there was some just toward the city. There was some whirlwinds and some issues in the desert. We're just trying to figure out why it was happening. Dust devils and such.
Yeah, whenever storms and my family, we seem to cause that.
No, I'm telling you right now, the people will keep you alone, leave you alone if you don't aim it toward the cities. Out here will be calm for you.
This isn't our home of choice. We were chased out. My mom, she was attacked and damaged, and the dream started a while ago. Last time the moon overhead flared. She said that night the moon visited her in her dreams, and its eye opened up and saw her. And she woke. There was a red rash that started growing around her, and then she had bouts of anger, and then it started coming more every night, haunting her dreams, leaving her with physical wounds, and we fled.
See. Well, hopefully we can get you back and maybe get her right in her right mind.
I hope
Like,
you
look at-
can. She can be saved. I know she can be reached through her anger and her sorrow and her hunger.
Sort of looking at this party of people that done nothing but killing things at this point. Like,
We can help her not feel so lost.
Hope so. And he's like, knowing his past of creatures, and like he's hunted a lot of stuff, and this is like the first one that really had like he's probably talked to dragons, but like nothing like this.
Yeah,
And
definitely like
it's more-
Dragonborn.
Yeah, and that's where he's learned the Draconic. But it's like this is like an oddity, like what's going on. And he's trying to Mox is sort of looking at the party, trying to decide like there's a lot of information here. Who is he going to give it to? And it's probably he's trying to make a decision of like who would be the best to get this. Knowing a little bit about the party, it's probably gonna be Morgen because he knows that Morgen has like a healing abilities. So it's probably he'll like in the wall. He'll probably go over and talk to Morgen here in a minute, but he's just listening to the little dragon at this point.
Yeah, and then he kind of talks about some of his favorite things. The sand kegs are always really tasty and fun to find in the burrows, and that's what I was out doing when I got caught.
1 second here, real quick. He throws up quite a bit, like as he's walking. As he mentions sand kegs, he just sort of goes to the side and like almost like a hairball, like.
Yeah,
I'm good.
definitely a little bit of blood in there as well.
Yeah. When he hears sand kegs, he just sort of like cannot contain it. Sorry, I had some bad experiences with some sand kegs. What a time for a nat one.
It's really fun. The afternoon heat, and it's also you're probably like, I might also be a little dehydrated.
Yeah, a little dehydrated. He takes some sips of water after trying to rinse that. It's not like the taste; it's the thought of the taste. Like when you get really sick from something, and then someone brings up like, "Hey, you want some vodka?" and you're like, "Oh God,
It's like
no, I'm
swallowing
good.
daggers.
Yeah, yep." And you can like almost taste the last time you're sick from that. That's exactly what's going on here. He's like swishing them out, trying to get the taste of the sand keg out of his mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how's the rest of the party feeling and doing during that time?
Yeah, Ludo's still pretty hurt from that battle, so he's just kind of like warming up his palms like there's some medical paddles, and his palms start glowing, and he just kind of lays them on his wounds, and they start healing up.
Nice. Cool drum change. All right.
Morgan seems to be fiddling with this string that she has tied around one of her wrists. She seems to be practicing her knots, like tying them and releasing them as quickly as possible.
It's really fun. Say I just going through different crafts and little familiar patterns. Say go ahead and give a sleight of hand check. I was gonna say you don't really know risk of failure or anything, but I was wondering how much you impress yourself.
I feel like she's fairly pleased with something like that. Definitely, there's some work to be done, but she's on that path.
Yeah, I think definitely feel like with a little bit of practice, time, dedication, probably get a little more proficient with it. And you all keep going through, probably like another hour. The sun is, still slowly starting to drip down as the sweat drips down your brows. Imagine Saeryn might use another couple shape waters. Glad to be free.
Yeah, definitely. Just pulling the sweat off of myself.
Yeah. Maybe remembering that trick that Dwendalian showed him. And with that, you all had to make your way closer and closer. I will say, does Mox go over to anyone at any point?
He would go over and talk to, I said probably Morgen at this point, and like explain the whole thing, like to him, or to her, sorry, about the dragon. So he'd be like, so the little one just told me that his mother has some rash that flares up with the moon, the red moon, Rudis, and that she has dreams that really affect her condition. And that's so why they're here. They're not from this area, and they're from further away, and they got sort of shunned out because of this issue.
I've seen this.
Red marks around her.
I've seen this red, this taint happen on many creatures, and it has some kind of connection to the red moon of Rudis, although I don't quite understand it fully. Do you think by speaking with him that maybe his mother can be saved? Do you think that there's hope?
He, according to the little one, he says that he can talk her down out of it and calm her. Seems like he believes she's savable. It's nothing that she's just absolutely, some batshit crazy, but it seems like he believes that she's redeemable, at least from this.
So perhaps this might not be a mission of a fight to the death kind of thing, but perhaps just to subdue and soothe, and perhaps maybe find a treatment of some kind, if anything is even possible in this world.
Have you ever saved anything like this? Is there like have you you said you've seen other creatures with this with a red mocking?
Well, I've created what I believe to be maybe an antidote for it, although I don't think I have enough of a dosage for a dragon. And I'm also not entirely sure exactly how effective it will be. If it's just enough to keep it from spreading, or if it's enough to cure and completely. It's, I guess, still under testing.
So at this point we have possibility of subduing a single dragon or having to deal with little one and mama at the same time.
Perhaps we could keep the little one's favor. It's best to deal with just one and not two, even if one is young.
I'll see if we can maybe we can have him talk to her and let him understand that it's no longer if we can't talk it out of just combat, then maybe alliance. I don't know. I'll have to find me do some more digging, see if I can find out what's happening. But he's very hopeful about having this being able to talk her out of just being crazy, I guess, and attacking immediately.
Well, let's keep our guards up anyway and hope for the best, I guess. About.
All have your conversations and keep making your way down through. You see the scenery does begin to change over time. And just to make things right again, Ludo, you have a hasty, you're like, wait a minute, and then you make a quick whistle, and bounding up out of the sands behind you with fresh prey in its mouth is your moorbounder.
Zephyr, there you are.
And as you all keep going and making your way through, you see a scene that, there we go. The sand begins to even out. There's still a gulch like running off to the side, so that's still going to be over on the side of the map. But you see more like sparse brush and rockiness as you're heading up and towards the mountains. You see large bones, withered trees, a huge bone of some ancient beast. And Zook looks at it mournfully and says, our numbers used to be strong. And then my mom said, passed down, the story was there was the big boom when the humans and gods were at war. And the land got changed and reshaped. And it still has many scars from that day. As you all make your way through. And is there anything else as you all keep making your way? Eventually the goalie, that valley comes back and it starts widening up larger than ever. Is there anything else before you descend into what you believe to be the lair?
If we're getting close, and it sort of seems like that he's telling us that we're getting close to the lair. At this point, I'm going to take one of those potions that was graciously given to us from Morgen, just because I'm. No, that's not great, but I will take one of the potions. Like, okay, we're getting close. Here we go. And sort of just like getting ready. That's better than it was. 8 misses. Closer to full. And sort of just like, all right, guys, it seems like we're getting close to where they live. And you see him like pop the cork and just healing potion. I think it's time to like.
What have you and Tanzuk been talking about?
Well, it's just I'm sort of like, so there's red markings on his mum, and she sometimes gets a little irritable, and since the last time the red moon was up, she has sort of comes awake when she wakens, has scars and markings from her dreams. So we could have a civil conversation, or we could have a fight somewhere between hey, how you doing, and a breath weapon being shot at us. So I think at this point, if you have a way to get ready, we might want to like at least mark up a little bit of protection. I don't think she's going to attack us outright, have her baby, but also we have her baby.
Ludo's gonna dig through his things, and he has one of those antidotes from sessions ago. So I think he's
like
going
2 or 3, I think we decided. Couldn't remember.
Yeah, that would have been session, first official session.
Oh, it would have been session 1?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you all met.
When Morgen was introduced.
You all met and made a ritual.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. It's been a minute.
Actually, not gonna lie, guys, that was a really fucking cool first episode, like of a campaign. You guys meshed
It's
really
a
well together
wonderful
immediately.
It's a wonderful thing to forget 25 sessions later.
Yep. And I would say Saeryn has been exactly what the team has needed ever since then.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So yeah, Ludo will pull that out, but also maybe in his other hand have those rubber shackles that he knows were able to capture or at least bind the young dragon. So if need be, he could try to at least subdue a limb or two of the big dragon.
Mm-hmm. Maybe like you feel like you're like, all right, I could definitely try and tie up like a limb or like maybe get the muzzle or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
disabling
just
a
in
wing or a mouth
case
is
he just
very
kind of
good.
has it ready.
Perfect. All right.
I think Mox would go with, I don't like that feeling. I was going to say something, but me as a player and me as a character didn't like the statement, so I'm not going to say it. He has his gun out. He has one of the guns. I was going to be like, I don't think he would have his gun out, but that felt horrible to think of. So as a character, that felt terrible. As a player, I love the idea, but as a character, I hated that feeling. So Mox will like get close and like, I think it would be his main. He would just pull it out and just look at the baby. Look, it's just in case. At this point, it's just for protection. If she happens to be in a foul mood.
Well, do you think it won't? You won't need to do that. That could anger her.
I'm not planning on shooting at anybody, but if she comes after us, I have to protect me.
I won't let her harm you if I can help it.
He'll say and you.
He'll
He'll say me harshly, and then be like and you, and he'll like stroke his head like and you. I'll protect you also.
We just need to save her.
We do what we can.
So you all begin to make your way in as the cave opens up. You realize at the end of the gully, the horse and carts will not be able to fit through. So you all have to kind of squeeze your way down a narrow canyon. I would say Ludo might be a little tough and slow going with the moorbounder. But they definitely have like a slim. They can get through possibly.
I think. I think he'd probably have the moorbounder stay with the horse and cart and maybe guard it.
Awesome, yeah, keep that free. Perfect. It's during this last trek, you definitely notice the storm clouds building. The sun eventually does get blotted out by the clouds as you approached, and the wind is kicking up furiously. You see like little swirling, like little, dust spouts and sand, like little tornadoes that kick up and swirl all around. You hear the occasional thunder boom of the crack of dry lightning flashes every now and then. And as you all steel yourself, squeeze through down into the cavern, and at first you hear a snoring sound, a light rumbling, a dull roar coming from within. But as you all begin to make your approach and you're scuffling, and you hear Tanzuk cry out, but the draconic cry mocks. You hear it as "Mommy!" And he goes bounding down in through the chamber, and you hear a startlement and noise of swishing from within. Do you all follow?
Yes.
I think I'm waiting. I think Ludo would like. He knows that Mox has been talking to the little dragon, so kind of like let Mox take the lead.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
if Mox
he-
wants to go down, if he feels like it's a good idea, then yeah.
Mox would go in, like sort of like telling everybody single file. Like he would do like hand signals, like single file, and like moving slowly. Like, all right, let's go. Listening for the reply from the adult dragon, or the hopefully not adult dragon, adolescent dragon. Listen for the reply of the older dragon.
Mm-hmm. And you hear the response as Zook cries out, "Mommy!" And you hear Zook. And it rumbles, the earth shakes, and sand pours down from within as you all make your way into the cavern next to them. I will let your eyes do the seeing. Obviously, the first thing you see through crumbled pillars, piles of sand, an open canyon that the roof of the cave goes up probably 100-something feet. This large, adult-sized dragon. Blue scales.
Adolescent dragon. He didn't say ancient, so we're good.
It's not massive. It's not a gargantuan. You see, it is a huge, bordering on the extra, size up. Is sitting on one of these pillars. Do you all see the art splashed up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
that looks cool.
splash of red coming out from its mouth, like a small rash that's been spreading, like blood that hasn't been wiped away. The one eye it's looking at you at is pure, like completely blood moon red. And on the tips of each of the claws and the wings and the little daggery parts and all that, little hints of red bleeding in through. The token is from CzePeku. The red took a little while to add in Photoshop.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, if you do that, that's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's really cool.
But
I was wondering if there was some like dragon artwork that existed that had this ailment.
Oh, that already, yeah. No, that was why I'm like, ooh, let's have fun. Let's see what I know.
Yeah.
And you see
That's cool.
it slowly wakes up and greets you. And then it takes a big sniff of the air. You hear, you feel the pressure difference of the inhalation of airflow now going in to the cavern. And it says, "Who is there? Who disturbs Fall Girl from her slumber? Why have you my child?" And Zook goes running up "No, Mommy, no, listen. I imagine that will Mox be interpreting.
Yeah, he would be telling them all right, okay, so she's asking why we have her child, and the baby is trying to explain, and then he
I can hear you.
Yep. Oh shit, and the dragon knows common at this point also. The big one, not the little one. The little one I don't think knows common, but the big one knows common.
Yeah, Zook is still calling out. It's no, listen, Mommy, listen. And you see she begins to approach, each step coming forward as she like uses like all fours, and like her long neck stretches out, and she takes a big sniff of you and gets up pretty close. I will say it gets up at least that right there to intercept Tanzook, and then she says, "You explain now, or I roast you where you stand."
Can we? Is this dragon speaking common?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would then transfer to Draconic to. I think I would. I would transfer Draconic to Tanzook. Like, so. Like, knowing that the main dragon, speaks common, I would then go to Draconic to the little one. It's like, so she's not very happy that we're here and wants to maybe roast us. So, that's not great. I think we got this though. Why don't you take a step behind that pillar? And he points to like behind, like the pillar right this. Why don't you go over there,
No.
little one?
I know, you see, and he like kind of like tries and flies up and gets like in her face, and he says, no, you must listen. They saved me. Bad men tried to get me, but they want to come rescue. They want to save you from the red. And you see, she says, silence, little one. Let me protect you like I must always do. So we're going to do something a little different now. It's going to be initiative, but you are all going to roll using your charisma modifiers.
Ooh. Actually, before we do that,
Yes.
I I was asking if it was speaking common because I was contemplating using my channel divinity as emissary of peace, which grants me a +5 bonus to charisma.
Yeah. Do you want to flash that?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. So what is yeah, so everyone just like click on your token, and we'll like I'll add it, or I'll add it in manually, so have you all roll a straight charisma check. And I'll do the numbers. And then Ludo will add +5 to your total.
So,
Like just charisma, or do you want like?
Just straight charisma. So it's like, think of, instead of like using dexterity for initiative,
Yeah.
it's going to be the
Gotcha.
more more
Gotcha.
charismatic will get the chance to speak first.
Yeah, that one stat is a 9. That's a -1.
Uh-huh.
I'll roll that one for you. Yeah, I'll roll that one for you.
Hey, pretty
Actually,
good roll.
Not bad. This is not
hey,
bad.
yeah, not bad.
Hey, I'll take a 16 on a -1. I'll take a dirty 16 off a 17.
Actually, Ludo's got 26. I would say just because his ability specifically is for that.
Morgen just crit.
Yeah, Morgen did crit.
Yeah.
So I'll say that. And then is Arlo still BRB'd?
Not by you. I guess he is. I thought he was back for some reason.
That is all right. I will say Ludo and Morgan, you guys both definitely get to kind of go, or you can go in tandem, but it's basically like it looks like, it seems like you're all getting a chance to do a speak and a pacification.
Yeah, so if Ludo has the chance, he's going to like open his arms, showing he has nothing, but he's holding the potion, but he does have the bands ready to go, like but not trying to like flash those like any shackles or anything, just trying to be like peaceful, open his arms and step forward and kneel down on one knee and kind of like bow to the dragon in this position, so he's kind of like in front of everyone with his arms kind of out a little bit, and just start to explain that oh mighty one, we actually rescued your youngling here, and we wanted to make sure that it returned safely to you. The youngling informed us that you were affected by this ailment that we have seen before, and we decided that we would bring you these antidotes and offer up the bottle, like kind of like hold it out.
What know you of the Red Dream?
Not much. Not much other than we've encountered other creatures with it, and I once was affected by it slightly, but I was able to cure it. But this is an antidote that we've come across that can help you, and I would love to offer it to you.
How do I know it's not the poison meant to subdue me so you could take what you want from me, steal my child, do harm, come back to my lair?
That is a great, valid question, but we rescued your child and brought your child back. If we wanted to subdue you and take your child, why would we bring them back?
My family has long known the hubris of mankind and humanoids alike.
I represent the best of all virtue in the Changebringer, Avandra herself.
And it's almost like a hiss or a laughing chuckle, like My Lady of Dragons cares not for that. And you would know that would refer to Tiamat.
Yeah.
So you may roll a persuasion check, and you can add your +5 to it.
Alright. Come on, big money, no whammies.
Oh.
19 plus 5 is 22.
It's really good. And you see she considers and says, I don't sense any deception from you. And then her head shifts over to Morgen. I smell death on you.
I serve the Raven Queen, the one that transitions between life and death. I have also seen these creatures that are affected by this red plague. And I just wish you hear our humble plea and accept the antidote in hopes that it helps cure you. If you're still wary of its effects, I have another vial of it myself. I would be happy to drink it in front of you to prove it's not a poison.
She peers down and takes a sniff. You who walk the line between life and death. What is your life to give? I know your kind. She gave up her life once. Why would her followers not do the same?
We all have a path to walk, and I believe that your path still goes forward. It is not mine to cut that short, but for you to forge on your own path, not one tainted by this corruption.
You see, like, she kind of recoils at the word corruption. You may make a persuasion check or any other charisma check of your choosing.
Guess they're all about the same to me. I rolled a 9.
Mm-hmm.
She says, and what if my future is to eat you all now? I do have a hunger. Go ahead, make a you can make a history or religion check, Morgen.
All right, I will do a They're both the same to me. I'll do religion.
Excellent.
I rolled an 8.
Just a name.
Oh.
That's okay, because this will be if you she said, and like you felt the emphasis, the proper noun on hunger. And you remember what Max was talking about, what Zook was saying earlier, how she feels lost and sorrow and anger. And if, that reminds you of anything or any inklings, player knowledge is always free to use. But if not, no worries, we can move on to Max.
Mox sort of like rolls up beside this pillar at this point and sort of leaning against it. If we wanted to steal your baby from you, we would have brought him back. You can ask him, and this is all in Draconic. He wouldn't go into Common, I don't think. He would be in Draconic as like sort of showing, not as like a sign of disrespect of the language, but more of like, I understand what you're doing. Like, I understand you. I'm going to go with this language. And he goes in full Draconic the whole time. It's like, if we wanted to steal your baby, we would have done this by now. But we killed people. We killed bipedal people, like humanoids, just to make sure this little one is safe. We didn't like the way he was being treated. And we brought him back. We could have sent him on his own, but we made sure he was here safe. So we're just looking out for you. You have done some damage with sending twisters and dust devils toward the main cities. And there's people looking, people like me, who would have normally just shot first and answered questions later. But for some reason, this little one has kept us from doing so. We're just trying to make things a little better than what they were.
Is no going back. Not while the moon lingers where my lair is. I cannot
That's
control
right.
the regional effects around me. And if what you say is true, people are out here looking, then maybe I shouldn't let you return to let them know where I am.
Or maybe you should take this man's medicine and you go back to your people, healed, without the red ichor on you.
And just leave my horde? You must not know much of dragons after.
What's more important? Your horde or your little one? What do you want to leave your little one with? The love for money or the love for life? It's up to you. We fully understand. At this point, he goes back to Common. We fully understand that you could probably murder us all. We would never leave this cavern alive. Is that how you want to spend your days? Running, chasing, always living for the next kill? Or maybe have peace? I understand chasing or running from your past. I would love to be able to see my loved ones again. See the people that turned me to how I was. Maybe this little one here needs something more than just death and destruction.
Go ahead, make a roll of persuasion.
That's not great. I'm not a charismatic creature. Yep, that makes sense. And,
You roll 11.
okay. I roll 11 or I roll a 11 minus 1 for a 10.
The dice
It's
is
my last portent, so I'll let the DM
Okay.
figure that one out. Trying to get us not eaten.
Yeah. He states that as he rolls behind this pillar.
Yeah, so we've been going through charisma-based initiative and has been going around asking everyone questions to help catch Saeryn up. How does Saeryn intervene? As it goes to respond, you see, like, as Saeryn's, or as Mox is talking about death and destruction and how do you want to live, it gets angrier and angrier. And then it goes to open its mouth, and how do you step in that moment?
Well, my character sheet is not letting me update my portent, so I'll figure that out in a minute. I think he's watching Mox work on this speech to this blue dragon, and is like watching the blue dragon, and it's like, this is a pretty good. It's a pretty good speech. And looks at the blue dragon, is like, oh, it's not a good speech. It's not working at all. Oh God. And as he's watching the dragon, he like starts to get a headache because now it feels like the dice are hitting him as they're rolling around in his head, and so he just kind of closes his eyes and changes Mox's luck a little bit, pushing it so that it's not as bad as it could be.
Yeah, and you see, like, almost like as it gets angry, and like you realize in this moment you have a chance, if you wish, to step in and speak up. You can also, if you wish to not, intervene yourself personally.
Well, I don't speak Draconic.
It's been speaking in common this whole time.
Okay,
except
cool.
for when, like, Mox was speaking to it in Draconic specifically.
I figured a blue dragon would speak common.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's this little moment in time you just see this reaction able to happen. Also, for reference,
no reason to get about us about telling anybody. The people that were looking for you don't like us, so we can't go talk to them anyway. We had to kill a bunch of them just to save your kid there. There's my persuasion.
I know you speak true. I can smell their blood still. My little one here.
Oh yeah, he had a good time eating them. It was a full. We kept him fed, full meal. Mm-hmm.
And how would I know you wouldn't tell others of where I am? So, why would you leave me here if you worry I might ever come attack you one day?
Well, not a lot of options, do we have? It's we're not gonna try to move you because that seems like suicide. And if we told other people to come get you, then that would be sending a whole bunch of other people to die. So I guess if we ever did send anyone out to get you, it would be with the complete intention of having you just kill people we don't like.
There is one that could cause me trouble. The brass one. We don't get along. But go ahead, make a persuasion check.
Is that what you said, the brass one?
Yep,
Is that
the
what you
brass
said?
one.
Okay.
No,
Thank
characters would know anything about that.
Mm-mm.
But you may go ahead and make a persuasion roll, Saeryn.
Goody.
Better than a 0, please.
I offer no promises. I am probably going to luck search this, though. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am.
Add on that luck surge.
Goody!
You use that 11 on yourself and not me.
No. I'd rather you have a 10
And a 0?
than a nat 1, basically. Yeah, because I think that's way what. Like, me getting a 9 is like, maybe we still get out of here with, like, I leave. You nat 1, none of us leave.
Understandable. That's why I made my statement and rolled behind a pillar.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, as you're talking, I'm like sneaking behind a pillar, like, this didn't go well for me.
It like moves Zook out of the way, steps forward a little bit, and like its tail lashes out and like knocks over one of the pillars, just smashes it right next to it, and it crumbles over in dust. And
Good to know those aren't load bearing.
Mm-hmm. And Zook says, "Oh no, she's losing her cool, but you can keep her talk down, please. You have to reach her. You have to understand her. If only you could see her mind. It torments her."
I subtle spell it detect thoughts.
Well, shit.
Well, shit.
Thought you were out of spell slots.
Wait, no, I might be. 1 second.
If you don't mark them off, they don't count.
Oh no, I have two level 1 spell slots left.
Ooh. Against an adult dragon.
I'm just catching surface.
Amazing.
Against adult dragon, our wizard has 2 spell slots.
And 4 hit points. Let's not forget that I'm on the verge of death.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, okay. I don't know if you were there, but Morgan gave us healing potions, like 4 each on the way up. Were you here for that?
4 each? I'd missed that. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me just...
Yeah,
I'll figure that out. I don't think I would have...
Was it 4 each? Was that what she gave us?
Yeah, it was 4 each.
Yeah, 4 each.
Yeah. So on the way up, like
Yeah.
Mox at the outside of this was like, "We're getting close," and he downed a potion.
Well, then I think I will have downed a potion as well. But
Yeah.
only one.
Yeah, any healing that would have happened easily on the way. On the surface thoughts of the brain. What you
Are those regular
see...
healing potions?
Yeah, 2d4 plus 2 legacy healing potions.
Gotcha, thank you.
There's a thing now. What you see in the mind's eye is the red moon Ruidus overhead. It's like a dark abyss all around, like a nightmare dreamscape almost. Like it's everything but dark and twisted. And then it's the red moon overhead, and it opens up one central eye, looking around wildly as a red haze starts to emanate from it. Circling this red moon are 5 little other orbiting orbs, chunks of rock, crystal, other eyeballs or appendages. They don't seem attached to the main body, but they're circling, orbiting around it. You feel the thoughts of hunger, sorrow, lost, anger, all these thoughts of like dark creatures that you recognize immediately to be the shape of like Sorrowsworn, like coming in from the edges. On its mind, you see where its lair is out what would be east in the Scalding Sands, somewhere down like near more south of Concourse. But inside all of that, there's still like a glimmer of an intelligent mind, a rational brain that is trying to fight and break through the haze of this clouded anger and corruption. Do you decide to delve deeper at all?
I mean, that sounds like suicide. Let me double check. I'm sorry. I hit detect magic instead of detect thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
But I do have 2 second-level spell slots.
Okay, yeah, easily.
So there that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Give myself that slot back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Make sure keep everything on the ups and ups.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna try to make this thing make a wisdom saving throw on a DC 16.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like I'll die.
Yeah.
I think Sarah's gonna like take that and have to like interpret it and just
I will say you also do catch a name, like almost like it's like a pet of a nickname, Ara. You think she used to be called Ara. That like bubbles up at the
someone
surface.
used
at
to
the
be
last,
called
like,
someone
she,
else used
the
to be called her?
dragon. Like you seem like a name of endearment almost. You know.
For this dragon or someone
Yes,
else?
for this dragon.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, her name is Fulgura.
Fulgari, yeah, I saw that up in the chat.
Yeah.
I mean, you're the one in charge here. You're big. It's your place. You're in charge of what's going to go down here, Ara. So we're just deferring to you. But there's no reason to be mad at us. There's no reason for you to do anything or take out any hostilities on us. Because we brought your little one back. So, Ara, what do you want to do?
Mm-hmm. And you hear it kind of recoil and snap back in his head, and it's like, how did you? Nobody has called me that name in a long time. And you hear like a Tanzuk, it cries in Draconic, but you still hear the interpretation of the name, like mocks you here. Ara, he used to call you that. Remember that. And she shakes her head and she says, I can't fight through the rage. Not while I'm tormented by the moon. Make one more persuasion check, Saeryn, with advantage.
All right, here we go.
Excellent. And I will say
it's above 10.
I will say I will also give Ludo a chance. Do you want to lend your emissary of peace to that, and how would you want to aid?
I mean, I think I have to say yes. I think, I think Ludo would, he's still in the kneeling position, and at this point he's like looking back whenever someone else is speaking, and notices notices Arlo use Ara a couple of times, and kind of catches on, and then for the Emissary of Peace bonus, just kind of jumps in a little bit and reiterates that we can help you, Ara, and holds up the potion.
Mm-hmm. And it's almost with that divine extra energy and pacifying aura that you're able to exude. It's at first because you're holding out a potion and Morgan's holding the potion, and then you see Tanzuk. He comes up, and you see he just like opens up and like sits down below you, and like gives you like a nod and like kind of opens up the mouth for you to pour the potion in. It's like, and then Mox, you hear it say, "I'll drink it first, Mom."
Oh,
I trust them.
I think Ludo looks a little confused, like looks around at the rest of the team, like, am I supposed to pour this into the little dragon's mouth?
I mean, probably not the whole thing, right? I mean,
It'd be, I think Mox would call out in Draconic, like, your little one trusts us. How much trust do you have in your baby? In Draconic.
Mm-hmm.
And then he sort of like looks at Ludo and like holds the hand out, like, wait a second, let's see what happens.
Okay, yeah, Ludo holds on, like he still has the potion out, but
All right. Do you go to pour it in, or are you waiting for a signal?
I think Ludo would wait for a signal. He wouldn't automatically pour it in the little one's mouth, especially since the little one doesn't have any red markings. He wants to make sure that there's enough to help out the big dragon. So yeah, he looked around at the rest of the group, and when Mox stuck his hand out, he took it as a sign to stop and not like to wait.
She yells out in Draconic, Mox. No, Zook, get away from there. They mean you harm. Trust them. And you see like the eye kind of flare up a little bit red, and Zook looks back and he goes and takes and like reaches up with his one paw and goes to grab it from your hand, Ludo, and pour it into his mouth. Do you resist?
I think Ludo at this point isn't gonna do anything to
Yeah.
to combat anything at this point unless he's directly attacked. So
Yeah.
he's not going to like try to shove this dragon away or like that prevent this dragon from doing what it wants to do at this point in front of its mother.
As it gulps down to try and make a show, some sort of gesture to help out in pacifying the situation, or at least what it thinks is the best idea. We're gonna go ahead and take a break and see what happens after that.
And the little dragon dies.
we fight big dragon after I've burnt a 2nd level spell slot.
Yeah.
All right.
There we go.
Jeez.
We'll be
How
right
is
back.
it? How is not in initiative more intense than anything we've done so far?
This is a lot of fun though. I feel like I haven't gotten to use that. I haven't gotten to use that Emissary of Peace. I think I maybe used it once before.
Yeah. And I'll say like they are very like the DCs have been set. You know, you like everything you guys are saying and doing has been very like involved in adjusting numbers and stuff like that. So even though the
edge at this point, we're at the razor's edge of fighting a dragon on our 3rd or 4th combat of the day.
Good news though. I got 10 hit points now. Thank you for the healing potion.
Fantastic.
All right, we'll be right back.
All right.
All right, I am back. How we doing? Alrighty.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Say, hope it's been a good time so far.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I'm back.
Trying to think of, how an extra angry dragon. How do they do discussions?
I think you're doing a great job. Please don't kill us. You're doing a great job. Let's see if you can almost kill 2 of my characters in 2 weeks. That was terrifying though. Last session. That was very scary.
Aljin,
I was fully cool. I told Ray a little bit about it.
yeah.
I was fully cool with it happening until it didn't happen, and I was a little disappointed. I was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would have been so cool for him just to be like, that's the way he dies. And just one of those weird one-off like sessions. But it was amazing. It was a great session.
Ludo
Yeah.
would have been so devastated.
Oh, totally.
If he would have found out how it happened, yeah, it would have been like, yeah, some small sea elf just got crushed by a magical elephant. What?
What are the
Oh,
chances?
so
Oh no.
It would have been the roll. Looking at the roll, looking at the HP, looking at the roll again, like, all right, we need to figure this out quick. Because it's a lot of damage for this little squishy elf.
Saying
So good.
next campaign, silvery barbs.
Well,
It ain't banned, but we're going.
I was talking to someone today, and he said he made a bard, and his group is now deciding if they're gonna go 2014 or 2020, 2024, and he noticed the 2024 bards no longer has access to silvery barbs, and he was devastated. He's like, I hope we do 2014.
20.
So I haven't looked yet, but
It was
sounds
like
silver barbs is like nerfed, at least a
my
little bit nerfed.
brain says like if I did like a homebrew world, silvery barbs would be an item that the players can get that can like you can use as reaction, but then you have to give yourself like disadvantage on the like some
I think that would
payback, some
I think
slight
that
drawback.
would be a cool. I think that'd be cool. Like you get silvery barbs, but you can't do something.
Yeah,
And you get disadvantage, or you can't cast a spell next round, or something
or
like
some
that.
like hit points, even like silvery barbs dig into
Yeah.
your skin for you to use it.
Yeah,
More flavor.
Or you get to expend 1d, let's say 1d6 of your HP to lower it, or to make him reroll, like something like a cost of it. Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, let's just homebrew spells for us of the time. You don't need to get back to this conversation.
No.
Yeah, it's not important. No. I think, yeah, all things considering,
Everybody
you guys
should go
are
back
very
and listen to the
earnest
last
and very
episode.
honest. And you guys have been making really, really good speeches and arguments.
Really shitty rolls. You're making really good
mine wasn't bad.
conversation and terrible,
Yeah.
terrible rolls.
Yeah, so I'll never use dice to determine what's being actually said and how that's
Yeah.
interpreted. It's just
I like
what
adjustments.
those like
You just
yeah. But with that, is that everybody back?
Arlo, you back?
No, not yet. Either way, we'll go to cool big music. And I'll just what's going through everyone's heads at the moment?
Cool, calming music that's like, yeah, everything's okay. Hey, Arlo's back.
Arlo's back. Back. Okay. Yeah, I will say in this moment you're all making great. I mean, the fact that you're having parlay with an adult blue dragon that is prone to bouts of anger, suspicion, paranoia, rage, and hunger. The fact that you're still here talking, you can all feel just like the sweat going down the back of your necks and just the worrying anticipation of being on this hairpin trigger. Not knowing what vocal stumble might cause next. But at the top of their heads, you all are some moment of breath as he seems to be considering. And because you have casted the spell up to 10 minutes, or however long Detect Thoughts works,
Minute.
Saeryn, you hear almost like a battle in her head, like her talking to herself, but it almost has that like two voice quality. It's just like, I should just eat them now, be done with it. Feed myself and my kin. That's how we make us stronger.
I will say this, there is something I forgot to do.
Mm-hmm.
I have to subtract a D4 from that last persuasion check.
Ah.
Explain yourself.
Luck surge.
Oh, damn it.
That +1 that I got, I have to now do the same thing to this one, except it's still a D4, but we'll see if I still roll a 1. Oh, thank God.
The pendulum swingeth. Amazing. But you hear, like, in her head the battle, and then it's like, but no, I could use them. I could have them take care of the moon for me. No, you can't trust them. It's, imagine, like, the scene of, like, Gollum speaking to himself.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically
That's
that.
exactly what I was picturing.
Yeah, it's, no, we must. I must devour them now. No, but they can destroy they can research they can go to the city. They can work for us. And then it's just back and forth, back and forth. But you hear all of that conversation, surface thoughts easily, Saeryn.
Oh boy. I mean, like, I could keep talking to her, but I'm just gonna let her kind of figure things out. Obviously, there's the whole drama with the potion now, so.
Yes, and that's in her head, and that's when Zuki does the thing, and she says no, and she goes to surge forward and swing out with her tail. 21 at Ludo to hit.
Yes.
The decision of if a 21 hits is amazing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Yeah, anything to deflect it, but yeah, I'll just take it.
Awesome. Yeah, and you like take your shield up and like try and take a brunt of the damage, and it goes, and you manage to stay on your feet as the anger, as you see it lashed out to try and stop Tanzuk. But he says, "No, Mom, look, I'm fine. Look, they mean you no harm. I'm alive." And with that, it pauses and it says, you can't trust them. You can never trust them." And in your head, Saeryn, you basically hear like, is that like internal pleading when you're in a manic state of like, no, do and say this, not what you're saying and doing. Basically you hear that torment in the brain.
We came in good faith, so maybe you need us to do something for you?
It says, "You."
Is some way we can earn your trust?
And it stops and sniffs at you, and it says, "It's like you are very insightful."
Well, the Ambassador.
I have eaten a few in my day. Not that tasty. Maybe
That's why you're supposed to keep us in sight. Get it?
Jesus.
Sarah doesn't know blue dragons like puns. He's hoping.
It doesn't laugh out loud, but in its head, you hear a chuckle.
I hear it chuckle. I hear psychic damage take effect. Good. I did psychic damage to myself, the player, doing that one.
Mox
really
makes
good.
the transition to the draconic transition to the baby, but the pun doesn't quite work. Like,
Yeah,
he makes a statement and it just doesn't quite.
Yeah,
hit.
Danzig just looks at you like, what?
Yeah.
What about seeing?
Mox sort of shrugs a little bit. Yeah,
Ah,
I don't know. It doesn't work that well in draconic.
and in the moment that stirs and it stops, and it's just waiting to see what happens next.
Ludo kind of, after he recoils from getting smacked by that tail, he returns to his kneeling position and speaks up again. Ara, what sense would it make for us to come here and be hostile? You can clearly kill all of us easily. So if we had ill intent come down here, that would just be a death sentence, a suicide. We came here to return your child, and we want to help you.
Like the satyr said, maybe you can help me. If you can find out what is tormenting me, my dreams, maybe you can then yourselves go slay and kill it. Let me take my lair back, and I can leave this land in peace. And in your head, Saeryn, you hear it said, like in its head, it's like, maybe they can even get a piece of my treasure each. And then immediately the other internal voice says, no. But the other part was said out loud.
Well, then, anything you need us to do?
Oh, no, it said out loud the whole, I need you to, if you find the thing at the lair or whatever, yeah.
Point us in the direction.
It's down in the Scalding Sands, somewhere south of the city. If you
Just as a clarification, we are currently north of the city, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it says, if you look through there, and it points to the little area in the back, it says, this site was chosen specifically by my ancestors before the brass one had established his rule of the area. An angel is said to have built a shrine here. I figured this was a fitting place to return. Inside, I scrawled a map back to my lair in case Tanzuk ever needed to find his way home without me.
All right. Well, in that case, is it all right if I step inside and copy down the map?
Yeah, you may.
Would that angel happen to be Zalakas?
is not Selikas. Do not know that name. I read it. Any of you speak Celestial?
I do.
I only speak common and bad common.
In Celestial, the name is, and it sounds like almost like a dragon doing like a sing-song symphonic voice, but the name you hear is Peregrine.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Peregrine.
Peregrine spoken.
Which, God damn it. You would all know that is the angel that traveled with Elixion into the Betrayer's Rise. And that flashback
And we
scene.
all know that, so we all recognize the name.
Yes.
Yeah.
You all,
Yeah,
this team
absolutely.
specifically. Probably the only people in history who know that name.
Who's heard this name? Yeah.
What a coincidence.
What's a coincidence?
Well, just we happen to run into that name back in Bezazan.
That's one of the lands across the ocean.
Yeah, we were there about last week.
You travel as fast as a dragon.
Oh, no. We are here completely on accident. Trust me. We did travel very quickly. We did not know we were coming here.
Always Faye speaking in riddles. If you wish to see, you may look through there.
Saeryn is disappointed because he's like, that wasn't a riddle. That's literally true. That's literally what happened. I don't know how we got here. But he's going to go inside and copy down the map and also look around.
Yeah. Inside, you happen to see it's a basic stone mausoleum shrine. Very bare walls, like etched out of, carved through like the solid rock itself, like built into like the mountain. And you see where like these pillars and everything have been nice and carved. And there lays an empty sarcophagus. It is large enough for a large, borderline huge creature, basically what would be the size of an angel. Inscribed in a headstone above the empty sarcophagus, it has an inscription that reads in Celestial. I imagine would Ludo come along as well?
I think so.
I would
I mean, say the whole party
Bring
could.
Ludo with me.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
party can. So, not cut into a scene. Don't have this, sadly, but in the stone sarcophagus, it's like built out of like slab gray stone, and the rest is this like worked earthen tone rock. The inscription reads, "Here would lie Peregrine. For she had wept for her lost love. She went to go find him wherever he is lost. Every red moon, the flower blooms to remember him. O Peregrine, please rest in peace." And it's just like simple celestial etchings, like seems ancient, hundreds of years old. And then you just see off to like the side and one of the walls inscribed, like looked like as if a dragon had etched in with its finger, a basic shape of the area, and there would be an area down south of Ankarel. Yeah, that would goes like down to the south and east, and there's a small town of like Chandel that's like halfway there, that you would recognize just from maps of the area, and it's like over in there in like what would be the Scalding Sands, and it's basically like a rough approximation.
Can we make a copy of that, or
I've got a spare spell book,
remember
so
it?
I'll just copy it into there.
Exactly.
Cool, perfect.
Yeah, copy down a little map of the area that includes the location of the
Mm-hmm.
Aura's original lair.
Mm-hmm. But you see that, and you all come back out, and it says, there used to be ancient secrets involving stories of the calamity, angels and gods, and heroes lost to time. And it all lies in ruins now. As it seems most things on this mortal plane do. And she looks at Morgan. She says, I do not know how much that magic may work on me, but I'll allow you to try.
I do not know how potent it is, and I also suppose it's technically crafted for someone of my size, so you are more than welcome to try, although I cannot guarantee success. And then I will, offer the potion and lay it on the ground at its feet.
Mm-hmm. Just takes one arm, stands up on his hind legs, and with the one hand just scoops up from the desert floor this little tiny little vial and a monstrous hand that's larger than you. And she says, and, well, if it doesn't work, and I feel anything else, I'll just eat you all. And it goes and swallows.
I think Ludo.
Yeah.
Yeah, can Ludo? I guess as we're coming out and the dragon is taking that potion, I think Ludo would kind of like rub his hands together until his palms are kind of glowing, like with his lay on hands, and look to the dragon like, may I? And put it out like he wants to touch the dragon.
Go ahead, make another persuasion check.
Sure.
You still got your +5 advantage on this.
Can I use my inspiration and try to do this at advantage?
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Oh, look at that.
Well,
perfect.
I mean, sometimes a number is
Well.
just it's like, hey,
It's
no,
just
this
good-
is it.
It's just a good number, man.
Just-
it was just meant to be.
19
Just take
19
it.
is just a good number.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a fan of
Plus your
Stephen
5.
King.
It's
I
just
like
a good
19.
number. Yeah. Love that.
I mean, I was
Jack,
hoping
I
for
love,
a.
I love that
I
reference.
was hoping for a crit.
Dark Tower's some cool shit.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a crit because in the
Yeah.
in I think it was session 0, where I got infected by the Moorbounder and I was able to use the lay on hands and pull the poison out.
Crit, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I got the crit.
Hell yeah, but yeah, no, you it does reach like a wing out tentatively. Like you see, like there's a little bit of that stretch of red down, like in that nail portion that it stretches out to you.
Yeah, so I'll use I have 15 points of lay on hands left. I think I'm going to go ahead and use all 15 to try to extract some of the poison. It says I can use 5 points to extract poison. So if I could try to do that like 3 times.
Hell yeah. Amazing, that flash of Avandra's magic, that radiating piece. It is going to go ahead and first make a con save,
Eat you.
Ooh.
then a charisma save. Alright.
Don't say ooh. We don't know what any of those numbers mean. Those could all be
right.
gold.
Well, since I'm touching it, isn't it technically in my aura? Does it get my aura bonuses?
Do you consider it an ally right now?
I mean, I want it to be.
Oh, you cheeky bastard. I think I'll allow that.
All right. So what is it? I think it gets like a +2 to saves.
Yeah, plus your charisma modifier. So it makes it a 20 charisma save, which is exactly what it needed. You see the body goes to begin rejecting the antidote as it starts to fight its 1,000 cats throwing up 1,000 hairballs in a bass EDM dubstep song. That's the noise that comes out of this monster's throat, and Zook flies up and it says, "No, the muzzle, the muzzle."
Oh, I think at that point, wait, what? Well, I don't understand this little dragon, so.
I would transfer that quickly, to him, muzzle him, muzzle her before.
All right, yeah, Ludo would pull out that shackle and I guess try to put it on this dragon's mouth. Rest in peace, guys.
Paladins were fun.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're radiating that piece. Make it one final persuasion check.
All right. Oh,
+5. You're still
Lord.
running. Ludo finally getting in a little hot. As you see, you try and as Zook says, "Mom, listen, please, do it. Let him." And it's because you see the body's trying to reject the antidote it just swallowed, and you run in and you clamp the muzzle over. Since it is letting this willingly happen, you're holding on as much as you can. And you see that red slowly begin to recede.
I think as Ludo, he feels like this is a foolishly risky thing to try to muzzle a dragon at this time. But at the same time, he has full faith in Evandra and his friend Mox, translating what this little dragon said. So as he's throwing that on there, he's clenching his eyes so hard in his faith that they're almost like there's a bright light behind his eyes trying to shine through, and little glimmers of light are piercing through the tiny wrinkles of his eyelids.
Amazing. And it starts to slowly recede. Trying to find my original token. We'll get there. The red starts to slowly go away, but you see it's not an immediate full disappearance. And then it starts stops bucking, and you see the body just lets it happen, and then Zook says, "Okay, take it off, quick."
I'll take it off right now. Take the fuck off right now, quickly.
All right, Ludo's eyes open and he takes it off.
Mm-hmm. The next time a human muzzles me, cities will burn. But thank you.
I apologize for the muzzle, but you are welcome.
And it seems to take a deep sigh, a breath, finally. Oh, there we go. That's what it looks like now. No red. Yeah, imagine that. And it says, "Yeah, you are lucky. You're all not sitting in my stomach. You seem connected to whatever all of this is. Maybe you have a little bit of luck on your side after all.
Saeryn stands up straighter.
Yeah, and she looks at Morgan, and Lady of Death. Maybe it does have a different fate after all.
May that tonic bring you some peace in the days to come. We cannot guarantee that it sates that lust for hunger forever, but hopefully it keeps it at bay long enough for us to figure out exactly what's going on and find a very permanent solution to this problem.
I fear if the moon flares again, I might succumb yet again. It's hard to resist. Tell me, when you're in the city, do you always feel eyes watching you?
I mean, it's quite the point about being in a city. There's a lot of people.
Yes, a hard feeling to notice when it's ever present. And I will say, Morgan, you remember when Jacqueline was complaining about that.
Oh, yes, I do recall a time in the city with an unshakable feeling of always being watched.
It lingers here, even in the deserts. I fear it is one of the traits of what drove me from my home. That is all I can give you. Forgive me if I sound a little condescending, but I think in your current state you would be no match for whatever that is.
Can you help us get to a state where we could be capable of taking care of this?
Not without my horde.
And the horde's back in the old day?
It's back where the beast lies.
The bronze one.
No. The bronze ones. Alcarel is their territory. The red moon, the red eye. That's where my horde is, and my lair now lives. Oh, sorry, she meant brass one, not bronze.
This is a whole thing with my Sunday group. Don't start with me with brass and bronze and whatnot. One of them has tin. I don't know the difference.
Yeah, I always mix them up, but yeah, she keeps mentioning a brass dragon.
Bronze is
Okay.
stronger than brass. That's all you really need to know.
There's a Bronze Age. I know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
At this point, I think anybody's like really noticing Mox's posture, like after the dragon sort of like let down his guard, you see Mox holster his guns, but the angle at which he was aiming was not necessarily toward the main dragon. It was toward the little one, thinking if something happens, he's going to have to take the little one out first. And like, 100%. Like, thinking if something goes down, this mama's gonna like trip. It was gonna be a whole thing. Anyway, he sort of holsters that and like sort of just takes a step like out, in here, like just sort of rejoin the group at this point. Mostly just kind of try to connect with everybody else again, because he was like sort of pulling himself back a little bit from that. Knows it. That's all I want to say.
Commend you all. Try and figure out what it may be. Maybe the city has resources. Maybe you can find allies. Beware those who also tend to worship the Red Moon.
Right.
We need to have something. We need to have something to show that we took care of the situation up here. I know that you said you can't control your area right now, but there'll be others if it keeps up. We'll head back, but we need some sort of show that we took care of the situation, so they more to come looking for you.
If you will.
Yes.
Humans and
We
their
have to pay
troubles.
for the people your kid ate. Ooh.
They were really delicious. Is that what all humans taste like?
She has
No,
a wicked
well,
smile.
Absolutely not.
I mean,
You don't understand
the
that.
four of us are super bitter and bad tasting. Everybody else is delicious, but we are not good tasting.
She lets out a small chuckle. Not all humans, it seems. But if you need a prize, something, and she slowly lowers down a wing and she says, "This has been bothering me for a while anyway." And she like plucks off like one of those like end tail ends at the end of her wings, just like shatters it down against a rock so it breaks off like clean. You see it was like kind of already like with that red and stuff on there. And then she says, "And here's some scales if you need as well."
That should be. I'll let them know that there might be some extra we dispatched you, but there might be some issues with the weather for a little bit. This might buy you some time until we can get down south.
The storms and the devils seem to my mood can affect a lot of that. So it might be a little better now.
Okay. Hopefully we can get down south before anything else happens. We'll let them know that there should be no issues up to the north. Maybe they'll search elsewhere.
Yes, I may have to abandon this area for a little bit as well. But no. And she takes like a big, long smell and a whiff. If I get any sense of betrayal, any sense of you not following through, beware when the next moon comes. I have your scent.
I think Ludo's thinking about how he has a scrap of Maggie's cloth too.
Yeah.
Oh damn!
Yeah, I will say that is, you all feel like on the brink of having to roll wisdom saving throws or being frightened. Because a dragon saying they have your scent is probably the scariest thing ever. And she says, well, you should go now before I get hungry again.
I think
Don't need to tell me
Ludo
twice.
would, right? Ludo would kind of give like a bow and say, "It was a pleasure helping you and saving your youngling here. Please take care of yourself, Ara, and you too, little Zook." And then he starts to walk backwards and turns and head.
All right. Anyone else lingering? I will say. Yeah, go ahead.
Mox will linger just for a second, wait for everybody to walk away, then go over and sort of pet behind Zook's, little Tan Zook's head, and just remind him, just be like, not everyone in Draconic only. Not everyone is as kind as we are. Be careful. And he sort of just gives him a pet, and like, you know, knowing a little bit of like the Draconic like regalia, he sort of like gives him like not as a pet as in like you're mine, but as like more like, you know, a show of like not dominance actually. It would be like he understands like what would happen if someone else found him, and like understanding of the culture, and like giving him sort of a nod of the being of what a dragon would be, I guess would be the whole thing.
And Tanzuk says,
Thank you for listening. It's sometimes just everyone is. They're not always too far gone. Just get a second chance, and I'm glad you listened. Oh, also there's over here, and they show you over to where there's like a bunch of rocks, and Zook says, she would chew on the rocks when she was in a rage, so you might be able to find some teeth over there too.
Okay. I mean, if it's not like one of those things like it feels weird, if it feels like he like walks me over there, I would do a search. Nothing like I wouldn't be like, oh well, hell, let's see what we find here. It'd be like, if I see anything, like I'll scoop real fast.
Yeah, roll a d4.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense.
Find one full one that's in like a good quick grab that seems to be most intact. So say y'all got a handful of blue dragon scales, a snapped off talon, and then a one tooth.
Okay. Scales, tail end, and tooth. Would it seem like enough to like, yeah, we killed the dragon, here's some stuff? Okay, good point. I understand.
We can come up with a better story than that, Data.
Yeah. You know bounties, pay
time.
more for more that you bring back with, and the more substantial proof you prove is always better.
We have time to make a better story.
Yeah, we went after we took out two of your crew members. Then we the dragon we were helping led us to his mom, who we annihilated. What?
No, this. Yep. Like, so on the way out, I'd be like, no, it's more like the dragon killed everybody, and this is what we had left because we turned so much into just you.
Do you have any of the bones left from the humans that might look like a finger bone from a dragon?
No, I'm pretty sure Zook ate them all.
Definitely, yeah.
He got in there and just started cracking him to get the bone marrow out of him. The slurping noises is gonna haunt me tonight.
I don't know. We sort of pointed out the things in the game, and Jack made the bodies disappear so quickly It was just him deleting the tokens, or the dragon just ate everything,
Devoured.
and he's not telling us.
The player character from Morgen showed up and opened up the inventory and then disposed of the body.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Straight into inventory.
Body, but been deleted.
All right, you all head out of the lair.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think actually happiness is leaving this place alive.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is pretty amazing. You all feel the sweet breath on your face, the fresh air, as the sky kisses you with open air, open desert, and you all make a quick and hasty retreat. think Saeryn is already like, do I just cast this haste roll and just get the fuck out of here?
Oh no, we're saving that one. That's going in the spell book at some point, but
Mm-hmm. Y'all,
It has. What's the time at this point? Because it has to be close to night.
yeah, it's getting down close to
Right.
nighttime. And you either have a night of travel, be pretty much most of the night to get back, or go and find a camp somewhere, set up, make some decisions.
I think we're pretty hurt and low on resources, so trekking all the way back to the city might be tough. So I'm kind of leaning towards maybe finding a place to camp and rest for the night.
Yeah. As you all make your way down out, you're able to easily find somewhere to set up. Bring you over to a map. You'll find a little crook where the little gulch is, like falling from out from the crack, and you see what used to maybe be like a little campfire. Or like a little station maybe someone had stopped at before. It's just like a quick little 5-foot hop over the thing. You'll probably be able to leave the horses and everything on the other side.
Did anybody else think
Cool.
that we would leave that place dead? I had more than one occasion where I was like, "Yep, this is where we all just die from a dragon."
Well, do you really leave if you die there?
Arlo was gonna say something snarky like that and then bit down real hard. And I think that Ludo said it very genuinely.
yeah, 100%.
That's so
Like, I think that's, I mean, just leaving is sort of impressive.
It's very impressive, but when you have faith that you will be protected, and nothing
Well, I
is
definitely thought
impossible.
we were going to die down there.
Kind of okay with it too, weren't you?
I suppose there are worse things in this world.
Than death, yes. The living is sort of terrible, also.
Jeepers.
Also, maybe undead, without coming back, like as a zombie or as like a vampire would be sort of terrible. Yeah. So there are worse things.
Death is just another change that the change bringer allows us to have.
Ugh. Oh, my arms. Oh, they're all sliced up from the edge that's going on right now. Where's our camp? Someone put up a tent.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, can we so is this looks like a pretty high wall over here.
Yeah, you would see it be
Kind of like blocked off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty closed off environment.
Is there a way that we can get the horses in the cart over?
So yeah, how would you all like to try do that?
Oh, I use all my magic to not do that at all because I shoot things. If you want those horses dead, I can do that.
Shout outs to Abria.
Yeah,
I'll kill that horse.
100%. I'll kill that horse. If you want those horses dead and take that thing over that way, I can do that. But no.
Oh, best decision ever made.
Why did Jerry explode? It's not gonna happen to me.
Let me cast my spell of I can't fucking do that. Horses go over there. No, that's my best spell. They resisted.
I will say I actually do have a song for this.
What?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. No. It's never,
So,
ever,
I can't.
ever gonna
Does anybody have anything to
happen.
levitate a horse? Because I don't think I can
I
do
don't
that.
think so.
I don't think so.
No.
I'm looking. I'm looking.
And chick.
Still going.
Nope.
Ever gonna happen. I don't think so.
I guess. All right. I have an idea, but I don't know if I actually want to do it.
We're going
I
to
could.
bed. We're going
I
to
could
bed.
drink a potion of stone giant strength,
No,
and then
don't do it.
grow my wings and carry the horses over.
Oh Jesus!
Until then,
Nope.
No.
nope.
All right, I think we've done enough of that.
All right.
I actually
think we
do like
just,
that idea that he like that would definitely work.
That was like.
But I don't.
I think
I
that
don't
was
know if
like
I
he
wanna use
asked
that.
that, and that was like the song that sort of played throughout, like us like trying to figure out if there's a way. Is there a way we can do this?
There's totally
There
ways.
has
We
to
just
be a
gotta be
way.
creative.
Yeah, there has to be a way. And it's
Matt
like the
Mercer has
song.
"You Can Certainly Try." Jasilionis has "I Don't Think So."
Oh.
I really.
Even better. There's a different version.
I don't think so. No.
No, I think the first one's the best. It was like the actual pace of what we were thinking of. Can we actually do this?
Yeah, I
And
don't
it
need the
was like-
Nightcore version of that song. Thank you very much.
No
Yep.
chipmunk core.
Nope.
All right. That's. I think you all just needed that laugh. You all just pitched various ideas, just like, all right, what if and or no.
Yeah, I think we just tie the horses up and secure the cart somewhere, maybe like behind the rock over here by the cliff.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
we can have my moorbounder kind of sleep over here, watch over the wagon.
Because it's not a real creature, right?
Nope.
Yeah. So
Just,
fair celestial.
It's just
Oh.
You know what's funny is I do have levitate, but it's just not prepared. I had to check my spell because I was like, I'm pretty sure I actually have levitate, but not
be so
for
good.
today.
That's so funny. All right, yeah, you all sit, realize to make up whatever camp you get, realize you can get yourselves across easily. Field horses are probably fairly well protected. As you all make up whatever sort of tent and encampments, you can begin setting whatever watch you would want for the night. And I imagine, let you all, if you have any discussions, planning, or any questions or anything as well.
I don't think so. I think just setting up camp, and Ludo would be willing to take the first watch if everybody else is feeling pretty beat up. Sounds like at least Arlo's pretty beat up.
Near death.
Yeah, so
I'm a wizard, though. I'm basically always about 4 hits from lying down.
Always just about dead.
I've probably got like half the HP of you, so.
Yeah. And yeah, you're all just thinking about that very, very narrow, tight encounter. Just thinking about what it asked of you, the mysteries, what's the red dream. Eyes
Here's
always
a
watching
discussion.
you.
Here's a discussion point. Are we even going to bother going through Concourse on our way to this old lair?
Depends. Did they say how far it was from Concourse to the old lair? Do we know?
I've got a map.
Yeah, you've
So-
got to be a little bit of a travel.
The issue, of course, is that if we go through Concourse, we just screwed over our employer, I'm pretty sure.
We can always stop for supplies. We have some stuff to turn in, maybe.
I mean, if we need to put on some very, very large cloaks, then yeah, that'd probably be a good idea.
Oh yeah, the group that yeah. Maybe we need to get there just to say oh shit, the dragon killed everybody. We just ran back.
The issue is that the trail got away.
No one trusts Drow.
I think they sent the drow with us. They're gonna trust the above board employee.
I was hired.
And then everyone died.
But me and the Drow. And no one trusts the Drow. Drows are shit.
And there are
Very
don't know enough
racist.
about
four of us.
Understandably, a very racist statement. Yes.
I don't know enough about elf racism to tell what from what.
There are 4 of us against 1 of him. You think they'll believe his
think it was-
word over ours?
I think
I think
Kier
it was
was
a
a
them.
Kier was a sure.
It was a-
She.
It was a them. I
Oh,
think.
she, sorry. Them.
A little androgynous.
Get it right.
Kira specifically mentioned as a cousin is the issue in the letter from earlier.
Mhm.
That's why I'm thinking they're going to be more trust than us.
Yeah. Maybe we need to get there, give them our payment, or at least get our payment from the scales, like a couple different buyers.
Here's the thing: we're not going to get full aid for this because we're not bringing back a dragon. We're bringing back some dragon scales.
Not a full payment, but at least something. If we tell them that the dragon's dead, we show them at least a little bit of proof, and we'll get some payment, and maybe keep at least this part of the desert clear from other poachers.
I'm just trying to make sure that we don't get shanked in an alley.
Isn't that always an issue? You almost got shanked in the alley when you showed up.
Yeah, but then I was friends with the guy, and it didn't matter.
That time, you were friends with the guy.
Yeah, that time I was friends with the guy.
Oh, so
I've got a lot of friends, man.
I think
How many
just
how many enemies?
I think we present
Okay,
the
now see,
scales.
that's a tricky question.
Uh-huh.
Because, you know,
Present-
How many friends you have?
friends is close, enemies is closer. You know,
Yeah.
so it's hard to count when you're up that close.
Friends are just enemies that haven't stabbed you in the back yet.
See, I'm far-sighted, so like I see distance. When they're up close, it's hard for me to see how many.
Hey, Morgan.
Over on there's something ridge just trying to get a board in and can't.
I say we turn in these scales in the teeth or tooth, and we just say the dragon is no longer an issue. That way we're not exactly lying, but we're not exactly telling him that we killed the dragon. We solved the problem, and here is proof.
Mox whispers over to Arlo like, maybe he should get a little closer so he's not yelling this whole plan across a chasm.
Trying to talk over you two.
At this point, you're on the other side of this chasm, like 30 feet away, just screaming across.
Oh, you guys didn't hop over with me.
I don't think so.
I can't make that gimp.
You
Give
can.
me 8 hours, I'll give myself levitation, then I'll make the gimp.
I've seen photos of you leaping a fence.
What's a photo? Ah, my nose is bleeding. Actually, I probably could make that using Mirthful Leap now that I'm thinking about it.
Yes, that's what I was waiting for.
I'm like, this is too good every time I get a chance.
It is.
Multiple statements have been made about this jump. He's still trying to figure out if he knows what he's talking about. With 13, he's getting the hang of it, but he doesn't quite know yet. If he sees Arlo jump, then maybe.
I'll be like, wait a minute, I've seen that
What a
picture.
Familiar.
A long jump is just your strength ability score, right? In terms of like feet of distance
Times
that you can jump.
3, I think, with
But
the running.
Yeah, it adds extra for running. Yeah, if you get 10 foot of run, it adds some.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you actually want us to roll for this jump?
No, just
yeah.
us, not you. Just not you.
I'm probably the weakest one here.
Yeah,
so-
but you do have the Mirthful Leap, I will say.
Yeah, I
Very
can-
easily.
yeah, that's a D8 added to it. So that's like a possibility of an 8 extra
So
feet.
if anyone might be
Yeah.
Morgan, I would say you're like looking at
Morgan,
that chasm. What's Morgan thinking?
So
100%. Oh, go ahead.
Morgan is like counting on her hands. She's like, have I done it once, twice, 3 times today? Just thinking about her Blessing of the Raven Queen teleport.
Oh yeah.
I actually don't remember how many
You
times
might have
she's
only
done.
used it once or twice at most during the battle, and I don't think there would have been a chance. There would have been any reason during the day of travel to use it otherwise. Because
I do hit 3 charges.
yeah,
and I
at
wanna say I thought I
most
used
it would
2
have
of
been 2 during the battle. Just because it is like a bonus action, I think you've been able to utilize, but you didn't do.
Yep.
Yeah, you were mostly like center for everything to like be close for healing purposes. I felt it seemed like. Yeah, you should still have. I believe you should still have 1 use left. Yeah, that proficiency bonus features are so good. Yes, you all start making your camp. Say easy enough. You know, not too many resources needed to jump the chasm. There's a point, you know, you could find as narrow a point as possible to get over. And you all plan to settle down for the evening. Still lots to do when you get back to the city. Would there be anything else y'all would have on the mind?
Oh, I need to divvy up gold. Everyone gets 39 gold and 1 silver. Except for me, who gets 40 gold and 1 silver.
Fair.
Nice.
It came out to 39.25. So,
I'm just impressed you gave us anything. You could have just kept it.
Take it.
Yeah. So, would you all be doing any watches for the evening?
Yeah, Ludo will take first watch.
All right. Jose, camp easy enough. Any things you'd like to do for that long rest period? Quick conversations, rituals, preparations. It'll be a fitful night out in the exposed sands. As you all go and settle down with Ludo on the first watch, would there be any other watches?
Morgan's always down for a watch.
Hell yeah.
She only has to sleep for like 4 hours, right?
Saeryn doesn't have dark vision, so I'm not particularly useful for watches.
Yeah, so with the 4 hours, you could definitely do like Ludo on first one, and then when Morgan wakes, Or Ludo might need a tap out from a second person, so wait till Morgan comes up.
Mox would help. Not really well, but he would take second. If like Ludo like woke him up, he would be like, "Oh, what?" Oh,
Yeah, just to make
okay,
sure Ludo can
fine.
get his full, like, at least 6-hour
Yep.
minimum, and then, yeah. So Morgan will be able to wake up at the 4-hour mark and then do the last after you do the second
Or
two.
if
Mhm.
Mox wants to do first, it doesn't matter either way.
Mm-hmm.
Mox would do a watch if, yes, he would do it. Yes, it would be not very great, but he would do it. He could take first.
Okay.
It's now night.
I see that. Looks great.
Dark tint. I don't have the night version ready. It's just a tint. But yeah, you two can spend your time doing the quick switch over. I'll let who's doing the first one?
Mox.
All right, go ahead and you can give me a perception check during that first part of the night.
17.
17. All right. Now, who here wants to roll a d20?
Let's have Arlo do it since he's not doing
Yeah.
the watch.
100%.
All right.
Look at the team.
Swirling sands as night falls, the sun goes down and the sands begin to lose that heat and the temperature, and the chill of the nightfall in the desert begins to come upon you all. Would you all build a fire during this part of the night? As Ludo is going and settling down with that, or Mox is doing that first watch.
I think Mox would not build a fire at this point because he's sort of hoping that his dark vision would carry on through that, and he's not really like wanting the fire. He's sort of like wanting like just to stare out in the dark.
Yeah. Swirling sands, little dust tornadoes kick up every now and then. You still feel like there's like large bursts of the wind, but the storm clouds do seem to be kind of slowly breaking up, like the roiling dark that seem to be like overhead in certain parts. As night falls, you're able to still see a full portion of Katha. Its silver light shining down overhead, and you do not hear any disturbance or anything approaching or causing any disturbance in your time. And soon enough, you're able to wake Ludo.
Mm-hmm. Get the fuck up. I'm going to sleep. You see him like
Alright.
roll his bed out, like his like bedroll out, and then he doesn't go under it. He just like grabs the corners and like spins into this little nest, and he like just falls down into it.
Amazing.
Yep.
All right, and then Ludo wakes up. You can go ahead and make a perception roll as well, and also would you be building a fire?
There's no reason to build a fire. I think if anything, maybe just interacting with the Moorbounder a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely keeping watch.
Yeah, you play like fetch on the other side, and he like jumps over and then jumps back to the other side, and very, very easy for him.
Yeah.
19 perception, hell yeah. Saeryn, go ahead, roll another d20.
All right.
All right.
A 10.
The most unfunny version.
Mm-hmm.
Right in the middle.
Solemn in your silence, you're thinking back on the day, reflecting, just thinking of that redemption of Ara, and your unwavering faith in that moment, and probably feeling a little mollified with that.
I like that.
But yeah, say any internal wanderings or musings, or feel free to kick it over to the next watch. There's no disturbances throughout your time of watch.
Yeah, I think just feeling confident in his faith and that it carried him through such a dangerous encounter, and just enjoying company of the Moorbounder, and just proud of his group. So yeah.
And soon enough, Morgan, you begin to wake. If you have any dreams, feel for, or, I know elves don't really sleep, but if there was anything in the head during that time, you're able to wake up for your rest or your watch.
So I think she definitely, takes this time to meditation to quiet the mind and sort of connect with her home and like the kind of in a reminiscing feel of the Shadowfell of the world she left behind is kind of what's on her mind in her trance. As she wakes, she doesn't start like a fire, but there might be some kind of light as she brews her morning tea. She might just have as much light as maybe a candle would make, just enough to heat up her water for the morning.
Sitting there thinking in your silence, early before sun hours, as you are very accustomed to. Just moments alone, Jacqueline comes out, just says, "Holy fuck, I thought we were gonna get eaten."
Me too, Jacqueline, me too. Although I'm pleased we made it out for now.
All that talk of hunger and sorrow and lost reminds me of those weird things you fought before.
I had the same experience. It reminds me of those sorrow sworn.
That was them. It's freaking weird.
Well, no matter what happens, Jacqueline, you know I'm here to protect you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got your back. Although, probably not against the dragon.
That's a very fair statement.
I'll tell her you fought well.
I thank you, and I will also tell her that you did as well. Don't think I haven't been noticing your pecs.
He kind of stretches them out a little bit.
Such a good word.
Oh, yeah. Just all of that, all this stuff freaks me out. Even here, the eyes still feel like we're being watched.
You still feel being watched, even all the way out here.
Yeah, it's like in the back of your neck. Go ahead and make your perception check for your watch.
I rolled a 10.
Mm-hmm. Shaquem was going to give you the help action.
Oh,
I forgot to
well, then
clarify
we crit.
beforehand. Yeah. I was about to be like,
For
oh, and then I
27.
looked over and I'm like, oh shit. Well, yeah. No, it's just because of all the talk, the eyes, and everything, and feeling it. It's you do now, even out here in the middle of the desert, still have that like when you were in the Shadowfell, even though you were always alone, you never there always felt like something there, ephemeral, out there watching. Which became a custom feeling for you, probably. It's like that creepiness that comes along with it. But out here, it feels way more malicious.
Joaquin, now that you've pointed out, I can feel it. I don't like this. I don't like it one bit.
Whatever it is, I'm gonna have to go pack it for you.
And I'll be right there by your side.
All right.
Deal with it as well.
All right. Got any tea for me?
Of course. And I'd kind of pour a little bit out for him as well.
Like a little boost of caffeine, gets a little sheen on his feathers, his coat. And Arlo, one last time. Go ahead and roll one last d20.
You got it. Ah, damn.
Just 5.
No, we don't know what that means.
It
As
could be good. It could be a good
the
5.
sun begins to slowly, like you can see it wanting to begin breaking on the horizon, and you feel it's been a nice, good, full night. Everyone will be feeling nice and refreshed, and you're just sitting and ruminating the thoughts of Shadowfell. I will ask now for Morgan, has there ever been in the Shadowfell, would there have ever been like anyone else that you ever clashed with, like, you know, like philosophically the ideas behind death and entropy and just like the different branches and fractures that would happen in the people's different interpretations of the Raven Queen?
I definitely think that there are members in like you could call them churches. She might have like maybe like a rival there or something. Someone who sort of gained the favor of the church and sort of became like the high priestess there, and she kind of took her I guess Morgan took her own beliefs and her own craft back home with her rather than um, keeping with everyone there, almost not necessarily excommunicated, but I think you're right, a clash of ideals keeps her from going back to where she used to have that sort of community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just the thoughts of the community, the being, the rejection, and the isolation and being alone, and the thoughts of those sorrow-sworn thoughts, and like how those things are able to fester and begin. And at that, the clouds overhead begin to break. Becomes a nice, sunny, cloudless day in the Rumedan Desert. And before Saeryn wakes, I wonder any thoughts that would have been running through his head, any dreams he would have had.
Being eaten by a dragon. There's not a lot of sleep going on. He is not having a good night's sleep. He's been nearly killed at least once, and then had to talk shit to a dragon. So he's having a rough time. A dragon said it had his scent. No. Saren's having a bad time, which is exacerbated by the fact that he's cold because no one started a fire.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's
If he was awake, he would have.
Amazing. And just the thoughts of the dice in your head, and then the thinking of the talking of Dio back home and people you would run into, and then you're like, oh shit, there's still a whole heist to plan, or maybe not plan. We don't know.
He doesn't know what he's doing at this point. There's a lot of questionable things he has to do.
And it's just those thoughts and merriments, and you all wake up without any problems. Everyone go ahead and hit that long rest button.
Woo!
Long rest button.
Mm-hmm. And I think with that, it's about as good a place as any to wrap this up. Give people some time to think, figure out what happens next. going back to the city, what that all means from there. And a whole bunch of bullshit coming at them from a whole bunch of different ways. And hey, we got a couple teams on the ground. See what happens. I think we'll sign off of Netherdeep from there. I've been the Dungeon Master Jasili. Here's the cheesy sign off. Like and subscribe.